Welcome, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Scott Patton with www.wavesofprofit.com, and we're going to be looking at day trading. We're going to be looking at options. We're going to be looking at a new strategy that we're developing. It might be in the early stages. It still needs some tweaking, but we wanted to share it with everybody. And joining us, as usual, is Allen Maxwell. Welcome, Allen.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Thanks so much. Actually, this has been working for a while, and a few people have been using it, but we haven't actually talked about it that much. And so that's why I was hoping we could just get the word out a little bit more, because it's working great. What I did is I pressed this game button right here in the middle of the screen. I'm just moving the window around for you. That game button just picks a random day, and I like it for lots of reasons. But what I did is I went to the end of the day and then said, okay, great, let's go look at the day, and I'm going to just describe what it is I'm looking at. And you know, the whole goal of any kind of stock market thing is to figure out what's going to happen before it happens, which, of course, if you get good at that, then you're very wealthy, and if you're not, then you're giving your money to somebody else that gets wealthy. So this is nothing new. This is what everybody wants, and I'll actually tell you, well, I'll show you. That's better than telling you. This particular day seems to be kind of strong. Like I said, I just picked it. This is one of the lists. We have a few. Each thing supports a strategy. You don't have to learn them all, of course. You just pick the one that you like that suits you, and you go with that. So this strategy is based on stuff that's moving strongly, and it marks it up. That's what that blue star does for you. So we're not talking about every thing here, but I just want to show you the power of just that. So I'm going to hide this other list. I'm just going to work at this one, and I'm going to hide some of the stuff so that we don't have so much clutter on the screen. And yeah, we'll get rid of a few more things. Okay. What we're looking at, and this is the point, is I'm going to just go to the top one. This is the one that had it's a crossover. That's what the blue star marks. And I'm going to work my way down the list. I'll just put that off screen as well. So the point is that we've noticed that when you get that blue star, in this case it's right here, that usually it does one of two things. Now, anytime you get a high probability of something telling you it does this or that, that means you're making money. And so here's the rule, and it works most of the time, is that if this crossover, the blue star is a marker, if this crossover happens, then typically the stock doesn't go any further, in this case lower, than it did before. It just goes like sideways, or reverses or goes the wrong way. Or the other thing that it does most of the time, and it does it right there within like one or two candles of that blue star, is it'll then keep going. So
you're saying when you have a crossover, it either goes to movement or goes in the direction of the movement.
Yeah, so it's like we don't want to be hanging around for sideways stuff, because you know, time is money, and you know, you don't want to be there anyways. But this thing is a great marker for telling us that you know, this is a candidate for making bigger money if the thing keeps going. If it doesn't keep going, you want to get out.
Okay.
We've already got a real strong handle, and lots of people are making money on shorter trades where they're making 10%. Now, 10% in 10 minutes, that's awesome money. You know, I guess the other people out there, they're talking about things like making 20% in a year. You know, we're making 10%.
Banks are talking about making 10% in 10 years.
Yeah, so you know, give your money to them. Inflation and taxes eat that, so you're actually losing money. You're bleeding out, basically.
Right.
Well, if you're not making 20% a year, you're basically going sideways or backwards. So if you can make 10% a day, and you do that work in 10 minutes, that's great. But so what the idea is that, well, how do I spot the runners that are sometimes, and there's not that many of them, and really don't need to be greedy about it. It's like, I mean, if you get one a week, that's, where you're making 30% or 50%. Where's the where can you get that? So,
Right.
but we'll show you that right here. So we're just going to thumb through a few of these stocks just to show you that how often this works. And like I said, it was a random day I picked, and we can go pick yet another random and go and go and go. But so the thing about, we like repeatable stuff, and this is a fairly repeatable item. So here, this one didn't continue on. You can see that this one candle was followed up by a candle that didn't go anywhere. In fact, it went the other way, and it marked it for you somewhere in the middle of making this candle. So you had a clue to say, hey, should I go or should I stay? And you were already being told you should go. So very powerful stuff. So let's go to the next one. So here's the blue star, and what did it do? It did nothing. It basically went sideways. Now, one of the other cool things about the blue star is it'll tell you that maybe later today this stock is one worth watching because it could continue and have a great move. So you're getting an early warning of whether you should hang in now or leave now. And you're also getting a clue that if this thing shows other signs, like in this case it would be up, the stock would be up in this range here, and you're getting a signal. I've turned off the signal colors and all that other stuff. But if you get all those other things, then you could have a great move. So right now, let's go look at another one. So this one, right there at the blue star, in line, it backed off, went the other way, and then it was mediocre, and we wouldn't want to be around for that. How about the next one? Now, I haven't looked at this day, so I don't know. This one did continue on a little bit, but not very much. And like I said, if it's not showing strongly, then it's just, you don't want to be around for that. You want to leave. So within a few candles, if it doesn't actually show some strength going that way, you just get out and leave. And you'd want to catch this run. Remember, the blue star tells you that there might be another run coming. So here, sideways again. Now this is a different time of day. Sideways again. You don't want to be around for that. Yeah, you get these little bits and whatever, but you don't want the sideways. So this one, it continued on for a little bit, but it wasn't strong. This was the end of a move. You see, it's not the beginning of a move, it's the end of a move. And you're getting the blue star saying, it's not so great, you should leave. And again, this is telling you right here that it's probably time to leave.
In the case of this particular stock, Amazon, in this day, would the other indicators have told you to get in, or like, because you could have got in at 190?
Yeah, you would have been told here. This is the signal that you would have got in at 189 something, and that's where that reddish background comes on, and then it goes away here. So this is not the beginning of a move, and you're getting a blue star. So it's telling you probably should leave soon.
Okay.
Like it's giving you early warning that it's like, hey, hanging around here is not the best idea right now. You can make a little more, but don't count on a lot more. So now, what did the signal system say here? Well, so here's one that it did continue on more, but you can see that this candle here, the one that followed up, went a little further. It closed a little lower.
Yeah, lower lows.
Lower lows, and you got some more juice out of it. Now, how much more you're going to get? Well, that's another conversation. But the whole point is that this is giving you a marker that says, you should at this point be paying attention about whether I should stay or whether I should go.
Should I stay or should I go?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a song about that. So here, it's already been a long run down, and what did I get? The candle after closed higher, not lower. You got a green candle right afterwards, and you didn't get a lower low. So yeah, you got a little more juice out of it, but really, if you left somewhere in here, that would have been a good idea. You already had the half color, which we already know from other conversations that's showing signs of weakness, and it's probably time to low. So you get two clues that this thing's just about over. So the next stock, this is not the beginning of a move. Yes, it did go a bit further, but you see, you didn't get a green candle as a follow-up. You had a red candle as a follow-up. So it means you can hang in for a little bit longer. And you see here you got pink. It's like if you would have left, you didn't miss out a lot, but you did have, lower lows and lower lows, so you could have hung on a bit more. So the thing about it is that trading rules have to suit people, and if it doesn't suit you, you're not going to follow it. So it's not your rule. So if you want to get out when the signal tells you, well, it's a half color and it's getting weak already, if you would have left here, you would have been in a nice profit. If you would have hung in here until the thing went white and it was clearly time to leave, you would have made about the same money as if you would have got out here. Now, if you wanted to hang on for 2 more candles, you would have been okay too. So there's nothing ugly here. What's my downside? Well, I make some money or I make a bit more money. It's not like oh, this is not working for me. So this is the same style as the other one. Now I've looked at other days, and so here you got lower lows and it carried on for a little longer. Here you did not get lower lows. It's similar, but you had a green candle. Time to leave, and it's an older move. Here you had lower low, but you see it's an older move. This move's been in a go for a while. I've had other days that are better explanations, but this is the thing about random. It's got to work all the time. So here you can see that you got this green candle, and that marker right there was the end of the move, and it told you. Here again, end of the move. This one did carry on a little bit further, but not a whole lot. So there's some other things that we look at to help us figure out whether we should stay in for a really long run. But this has already been a long run. It started up here. How long do you think these things will go? So another long run, and it's telling you right there that that's probably the end. I don't know. Am I making it clear enough, Scott?
Yeah. In most of the cases on this day, it's basically saying this is, time to get out.
Yeah, before it curls back against you. And yeah, like, you may miss out on a little bit of profit. I'd rather miss out on a little bit of profit and a little loss than, take the losses with the gains, because it works out worse if you take gains and losses together. It's better to just take smaller gains than some gains and some losses. So anyways, that's it. I can go pick another day, but here's the green side. It's calling it at the same stuff. But my previous comment was, well, it's also telling you, this little marker, that maybe later today there might be a good move in this same direction, and just keep an eye out for it. Well,
there it is.
This start here was lunchtime. You don't trade that. This didn't gain here, but here it is here, where this actually beat that and then kept going nicely for a while. So that's what this this blue star does for us. So here, just looking at this one, this is early in the move. You got it thing, and yeah, it's a green candle, but it actually is lower by a few cents, and it's not a big, tall green candle. It's a little one hanging down on the bottom. So if you hung on for a bit longer, you would have made more money. Whether you want to or not, that's, again, personality.
Right.
And here, it's the end of the move, and it marks it right there perfectly at the end. So you can't say, hey, well, all the other ones were at the same time of day and the whole market. No, this thing works really well. So this candle here, you would have had to ride out this business here. I don't know that I would have. I would have said, hey, thanks for the money, I'd leave. And maybe I'd get into this or find something else that's like that. We just saw one that's like that. So this is the philosophy, is we're not trying to get rich on one stock in one moment. We pick up a lot of profits. So here the blue star is pretty much at the end of the day, and it's marking the last candle. Yes, it's the there's hardly any trading time left in here. I wouldn't start a trade here. I wouldn't even start a trade here. because this time of day gets a little bit weird, and you can't. I can't expect the market to keep making me money when it's closed. So I wouldn't do that. So that's pretty much it for this day. And like I say, we can go pick another random day, but you're going to find.
Why don't we look at like Thursday of last week or Friday?
Sure. Here we go. So I'm going to go to the end of the day just so we can see things. I'm going to go bring up the list, which is right there. It's also available in the toolbar. Here's the stocks. You can see there's a bunch of them. I'm just going to go start at the list like we did before. So here it was early in the day, and that candle was the candle that it turned around on right there. Let's go grab the next one. Also turned around, actually during that candle it turned around. So like that little bottom that was just a little bit deeper than that one, that's when you got the clue it was time to leave. As it starts running back the other way, it's like you definitely know. This is very early in the morning. It's like trading that time of day, that's a whole other style of trading. So here, this was where it marked it. It's on the third candle of the signal. So the question is, should I go or should I stay? Well, here you've got higher highs and continuing higher highs. I mean, if you want to leave here when it goes to the half color, you can, but you'll notice this other line here, it keeps floating above it. It never cracks back into it except here. And this is the point about, the other part of the conversation is finding the longer runs. That's what this tool is meant for. And that's why all these extra little jaggy lines are in here. Is like, well, if it can continue to stay above that, you can continue to ride it.
And when you look at where it goes from the light green to the white, that's where you should be getting out anyway.
I agree, yeah.
So that move, if you got in maybe
why don't we use
after the second, maybe on the third.
We'll use our easy tools here. And I'll back up a bit. Just let's say you like this thing and you wanted to get in early morning. So if we go grab the automatic profit analyzer here, it's just the buy sell button we call it. So right there's a little marker. I'm going to move forward. We're at 77% profit. Yes, we really are. I know it's crazy high. But that's just the way it is on this stock. So if I back
140%.
If I back up to where the signal went white, which is one of our exit clues. So you got this little blue marker right here. It says that's an exit, and then the going white. We give you more than one way to look at things. Anyways, yeah. So you made 134%.
$1,000 turned into 2,300.
Yeah, good money. Awesome money. You'll never get that at the bank.
And how long is that?
Well, let's just see here. This is the summary of that. It was basically just under 3 hours.
In at 9:39, out at 12:15.
Mm-hmm.
3 hours, 133.9%.
Yeah, and this does
not bad.
Account for time decay and commissions and a bunch of things like that. It does all that stuff for you, and it's not 100% accurate, but it's very close to real prices with most brokers. So let's go.
So you can see there's this is actually a really good example of we have the blue star. Mm-hmm. It's going up. It's continuing to go up. It's obviously going up. And so this has the potential to be a really good run. So that's mm-hmm. something that could influence us when we get into that little rough spot around $42, where it kind of pulls back a little bit.
Right.
It might say, well, this thing said it would go, and we're still above that kind of yellowy thing. So let's just, or you sell half, and then you let the rest go, right?
Yep. So the program is pretty awesome in the sense of all the tools that are here. It's just a question of getting familiar with it, and that's why I thought, well, you know, we got to tell a few people about this. There's a few people that work with us that already know how this works, and you know, they love it. I'll just go through a few more stocks here, and you know, you can see, like,
Wow.
you see here, it's you were already in this thing if you were. You know, the blue star comes on, and what? You're getting higher and higher. You're not getting sideways action or the other direction. You're getting higher and higher. So if you left up here, you'd still be making great money. What about the next stock? Isn't this interesting? Here's the blue star. That's the last green candle for the run.
And it reverses.
Reverses. And that's the point about this is like this just seems to do this all the time. Most of the time. So if you would have left here, you would have still made great money. But if you followed the other rule about, well, I'm still nicely above, I would definitely leave on a red signal. It's like,
get out, yeah.
Get out. We're trending down, or at least we look like we are. And this is personality, and this is why you have you know, thousands of things you can go look at if you want to. You don't have to look at all that, but if you do, it's all available for you. So here's another stock. Again, the blue star is right on this candle.
Time to go.
Yeah, especially when you got a long tail like that. You know, we teach you that stuff in detail. So the blue star here is later in the day. You've already had a run. You can look at just where you are. You're running down, you know, ignoring the little greens and reds. There's your red star, and nothing happens after that. So let's
Sideways.
Sideways. Okay, blue star here. Yeah, this was a bit of a run up already. Then you get a red candle. I'm not hanging around for this. I'd have to catch this little bit and put my money at risk? No. But blue star is telling me, hey, there may be another one coming, another run to watch for. So, and it's calling it right here. And the rules are fairly simple. I want to be above the risk zone. That's what this tinted area is. A signal, fresh signal. The second candle should be higher than the first one. And then you're just going to ride that for a while until, you know, you normal get out. So it's not lunchtime. The volume looks decent. I can show you that, but let's just move on to the next one because we want to talk about the blue star. So here's another one, right at the end of the run. It marks it. Oh, look at that. First candle with signal. And on and on and on we go, and you can get out here if you want, or when you're getting a white signal, you get out there. Whatever suits you. Some people use the mag line, which is this line I just turned on, which is the moving average genius. It does some math for you. So if it crosses that line, closes below, so like here, I'd be out. So you've got a few different ways to get out, and again, it's just personality.
Get out on the white.
Yeah, get out of the white is pretty simple. So, and quite often you'll see that they line up. So like here you've got the line, the mag line crossing, and the white, and you know, the same kind of thing. Now, clearly this is the beginning of the move. You get a fresh signal. This has been sideways for a while. You get just like a little bit of a dip, and off she goes. It's not lunchtime. We've only got a couple more to look at. Here it marks it, but isn't that interesting? What do you get?
And
you could have made maybe a couple of cents. You would have had to work hard to get it. Mm-hmm. How do you know? So this is telling you something to know before it happens. It's like this is not the beginning of the move. The beginning was up here, whether you got a signal or not. You know, now it's trending pretty cleanly. You know, time to leave. And clearly this is the end of the move, and it really was the end of the move.
So this actually is a good way to look at the end of the move before it actually ends up crossing that blue line.
Mm-hmm. And somewhere during the making of this candle, and that's the beauty of the replay, that blue star would come on when it was down here.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for fun, let's turn on the time. We're going to go to 140. So here's the replay controller. I'm going to go, you can arrow in, but we're just going to go set this for 139, 137, sure. So it hasn't crossed over yet. I'm going to go forward at just a minute at a time. Okay, and I'm going to turn off the signal color so you can see there's the blue star right there.
Mm-hmm. And you know, because you can just see this has been going down for a while, that
right.
it's not telling you it's the beginning of a move.
Right. So this is 1339. I'm just going to, just for comparison, we're just going to go back here somewhere. Not that far. How about there? We're just going to say we bought the put here.
Okay.
Then we're going to go forward to 1339, and it says we made 27% profit. Now, if we think that this isn't telling us anything, and we just say, well, I'm going to hang on a little bit more. So instead of 27% profit, now I'm at 18.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, 21, 14, 13. Come on, come back. Blue star's a liar. Just, keep coming back. And you can see it bounces between 12 and 20%. And you get your 24.
You got a second chance, that's your money.
I'd be taking that.
Yeah. You're lucky that time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and now you're down to 14%. So, anyways, it's not like there's anything bad that happens here.
And those are 5 minutes candles, so you got like 5 minutes to make up your mind before you make it or you lose it.
Yeah. So this is a very useful indicator, and we can keep pulling random days and keep looking at all that kind of stuff. And that's the whole purpose of the replay is we'll tell you what the strategies are. It'll pick the stocks for you, like it'll throw them on the screen, and then you can take one strategy that you like and test it thoroughly that you know what you want to do. Because it's all well and fine that I say, hey, do this, or, that works a lot. But, if it's not working for you, then, try something that does work for you. And you can do that all here risk-free. You don't have to lose a dollar, but you can certainly see what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's good practice. You got to practice, because then you start to see the patterns, and you start to understand what's unfolding, and then you take advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly. And, nobody gets good sitting on the bench.
Yeah, so do the sell thing, and let's see how long that took us to make our 19%.
Okay, so you just click here, the little money bag, and it tells us that in this case, this is the second one, it's Google, 19% was just under an hour.
Okay.
And that's pretty well it for today's conversation. I just wanted you to see that because it's pretty awesome. And some days there's blue star crosses, lots of them because the market's moving well. And other days there's not that many. And again,
it's usually one per day per stock. Will blue stars show up more than once?
So like here's like half the list, more than half the list was blue stars. If I'm just going to go pick another random day quickly, and we'll see what it comes up with. Now we're at the end of the day. I'm going to go bring up the list. And again, in this particular day, there's more than half of them. And this was August 8th that it picked as a random day. So here we have a blue star. That's pretty well definitely at the beginning, but the first half hour is kind of weird. Anyways, and it reversed because it was a green one and then it reversed. You already had your clue, and so you could have caught the red move on that one. And anyways, we can keep going and going. It's going to just keep being the same stuff, which is what I love about the replay, and that's the whole purpose. Is I want to learn something from this tool. Well, here we go. Blue star. You already had a bunch of candles. That was the end of the move.
Yeah. But there was a move the other way.
Yeah, and here's this one, end of the move, right there in the blue star.
Yeah.
How do you know? Well, you started ignoring signals, but just looking at where things live. It was down here, up, 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 and then it stopped. IBM stopped, and this is at 11:15. I look at the other one. This was a move that ended at 10:45. It's not like, oh, well, we put all these little magic markers. No, this is just working really well. So, anyways, that's the system.
Beautiful. I love it. Works really good. So, okay, so can you bring up the list of stocks?
Yep. This is
And,
the one for Blue Stars. This is
no,
the
right, yeah, so the WSG replay. Now, what do you click on to bring up the dynamic targets?
that guy right there.
Okay, dynamic targets list. There it is.
Yep, and we have a
And,
toolbar with all these lovely buttons, and but yeah.
and just mouse over, you'll see the tooltip.
Yep, that's right.
That's the easiest and bestest way to do it.
Yep.
Wonderful. All right. So thank you very much, Alan. Really appreciate you taking time out of your day to share that with us and everybody else. And if you want to know more about the waves of profit and how you can use options, trading, calls, and puts to make some profits, diversify your portfolio, and all that sort of good stuff, head over to www.wavesofprofit.com, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.